Hey all, welcome to the homestead. So I started making a video a little while ago about this fence line, and this is kind of the explanation that I started with. And long story short, we would like to be able to let the chickens have access to this again. You recall after the coyote attack, we really restricted them. We were worried that they were too vulnerable, and so we restricted them. We also lost a couple of the dogs because they were able to get out into the field area and get through that fencing. So we put up a bunch of chicken wire along the bottom of that fencing to try to keep them out, but they would go all the way around. Unruly chickens combined with killer dogs, not good combination. And so a little bit of time has passed, not unusual, but I finally did get some more fencing material there. It's more the wire mesh, but it's 4 foot high instead of 3 foot high like this stuff is. And I got a 100-foot roll, which should allow me to go from that corner all the way down to the other side of the fence there, or the other side of the gate there. Which means I'm going to take the bit that I already put up along here. I'm going to actually move it back to this side because this is only a 50-foot stretch. That's a 100-foot stretch. Makes sense. A little bit more work. Kind of makes what I did already a little bit of a waste, but it happens. Your best laid plans sometimes just need to change for various reasons. So I'm going to work on doing that with the goal, again, of being able to have this area be safe for the chickens to be in again. We're thinking about moving the piggies back from over by the solar panel because they've done their job over there well, and give them some more new area. And we're thinking of letting them have all of this, using the old cow shelter as a place, and then they can get in there and do all that, root up all that, provide poop and fertilizer and all that good stuff for this area. So that's what I'm gonna be working on. Hopefully get it a little bit further along than last time, now that I've got all the material that I need, I think. So with all that, I'm gonna get at it, and here we go. Okay, so I got all of the new fencing up all the way down. I got the old fencing moved over there, and I've got it wrapped around the gate. I'll show you what I did here, which is basically, you probably saw it on the wide shot, but I took this piece because it was long enough, came around this post, and then just continued it along the gate. And again, the only reason I did that was because, again, we want to open this area up to the chickens again, but we don't want them being able to get out into the field. And we're doing that hoping that that's going to be predator control. We'll see. Okay, we're back at it. Today is all about getting the electric fence, the electric wire part up. Got all my supplies here, got all my standoffs, found my extra wire. The goal is to go from that corner over there all the way down and around, and we'll use one of the gate hook thingies. Here, got one right here, I should show you. One of these guys to go across the gate part, so we can still open the gate but have an electric wire there. So that's what I'm going to do today, and we'll hopefully get this all up and ready, and maybe we'll even move some piggies today, maybe tomorrow, we'll see. All right, we're going to go down. So I know down this whole length it's good because I tested it down there. So now I'm going to close the gate and put the gate part on and see if it goes across like it should there. I have no reason to think it won't. This is a Premier 1 fence tester. These all fundamentally work the same. You have a little probe here, you stick in the ground, that makes your circuit, and this then touches the fence. It goes through just like it would for a person or an animal or whoever's getting shocked by the fence, and it reads it out. The 5.9, you're telling me multiply that by 1,000, so that's 5,900 volts. So 5.9 kilovolts is what that's putting out across there. So I'm gonna close the gate here. I'll latch it down, but I want you guys to be able to see what I'm doing. So we'll close the gate. So okay, gate's shut. Got this piece that's attached. This allows me to attach down here without getting shocked. And now this should be energized as well. And it is 6. So it's reading same, essentially. 5.9, 6, same. So we'll just come all the way across around here to the other end, the very end that I have it on. Make sure that it's making it around. Then I'll touch the fence, make sure it's not touching that, and we'll be done. And we can let the chickens in, and we can decide if we're gonna move the piggies over. Probe in the ground, touch the wire. 5.8, so a little bit of loss, which for the run, it makes sense. So now I'm going to touch the fence. Here we'll make sure the probe's still active. Okay. Touch the fence. And the fence is reading nothing. So we got 5.9, 5.8 down there. We're good. So I terminated it here because this is where I've got the tree. It's a good one to go to. So I do have this small little gap here. You can see on that side, I've got mesh that goes all the way up. I don't know how well you can see it on the video there. I figured it's not gonna be super critical. My tripod's getting caught on stuff. I could be wrong, and the predators will let me know if I'm wrong. But again, this is more just about giving them an extra layer, not trying to protect them with any absolute certainty. And I don't think there's any absolute certainty you can do when you're doing homesteading. You got to do the best that you can with what you got when you got to do it. I think I've said this many times before, and I think it's worth repeating many more times. You can only do what you can do, and it's better to do something than to never get started. I know there's probably people who have different philosophies about that with me, but I'm a firm believer that if you wait for perfection, I'm gonna go around this way so I don't have to, so I can leave the fence on. If you wait for perfection to get started, if you wait for ideal, you'll never get started. You're gonna sit around and you're gonna always say, well, this isn't right, or that isn't right, or I don't want to settle for this or that. And there's times where that's necessary. There's times where that's needed and is proper. But there's also times where, and I think it's more often than not, where that's not the attitude that I think you should have. If you're gonna do stuff, do it. And do it the best you can with what you got. And if you have to redo it later, okay, that's fine too. We moved our chickens. Well, we did a major move one time. This is another iteration of moving them around again. So, we've moved the pigs. We've done different things with the cows. You do different things because you find different things work for you. Your first idea doesn't always have to be your best and your greatest, and it certainly doesn't have to be your last. So I'll get off that high horse now with that. I'm gonna open this section of the fence back up. You can see where we put the zip ties, where there used to be the opening between the two. And we're gonna let the chickens have the run because it's fenced in, it's electrified, and they should be pretty well protected. We're still gonna lock them up at night in their coop. We're gonna make sure they get in there. We're not gonna let them stay out anymore, but we are gonna let them have some more space. All right, so as you can see, chickens are now back in the area. The fence is working, and this project's done. We'll see how useful and versatile it becomes for us. We'll work on getting patch in there. We have to figure out a little bit of logistics. If we put the piggies back in here, we're leaving them with the chickens in there. Leaving the gate open to allow patch to come in isn't as practical as it used to be. And we're not as good as, convincing him just to go in there. So if we're going to try to do that, we got to figure out logistically kind of how we're going to figure that out, if we're also letting the chickens into the area and we don't want them to escape and all that stuff. So we'll figure that out later. For now though, this project's done. So I'm going to say, God be with you all in all that you do. And remember,
keep up the faith and keep up the fight.
God bless. Bye.